Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? Today in What You're Meant to Hear, we are going to use the Wild Unknown archetype deck. I really love this. I was drawn to this over the last couple of days. I just feel like it has some lovely insights. And the funniest thing just happened when I was looking through the book for Kairos. I couldn't find it anywhere. It was just one of those things where I was like, oh, I'm not going to go to the glossary. I'm just going to flip through and find it. And I couldn't for the life of me find it, so I had to go to the glossary, and I was getting more and more excited about the interpretation of the book of this. And what I'm going to do for each one too is pull one tarot card and also see sort of like an extended message from it. Because in the book, this talks about mythic time. This talks about synchronicities. And I bet a lot of you have been feeling like this. Like a lot of things are presenting themselves and they're kind of like in fine, glossy, silver style, like really grabbing your attention this time due to your present moment awareness and also you being aligned. As you can see, this eye is open, it's ready, it sees through all the fractals of time, it has a new understanding. And this is about, that we all have the experience of timelessness, right? Of life beyond the ticking of the clock, a regular calendar. It might be felt sometimes as time standing still, slow motion, losing track of time on a walk or a lovely conversation. And this is known as mythic time, and it's the territory of Kairos. This card suggests that there is a secondary time continuum that goes beyond earthly clocks and schedules. Within this non-linear realm, we access divine timing. It's one of those things where we're not impatient about something because we're watching our clocks like, where is that soulmate? Where is that wonderful occurrence? All of that. We are enjoying the moment and we are fully immersed in it. It's really, really important sometimes that we pay attention, because when these auspicious moments come in, it's like it's just completely ripe with us noticing it, that single moment, and actions change the trajectory of our whole life, right? Time becomes a living thing that watches over us and tells us precisely when to speak or act. And when this card appears, it's all about patience and precision. No clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of inner knowing, and not a moment longer. It's just going for it, right? I love this. And then right off the top, of course, this is a corresponding card, and it's absolutely perfect for this awakening. You're going to sense these new vibrations. You're going to sense this new kind of magical thing where it's about feeling. It's not all about logic, but it's about just sensing. This is the right time. I am going to say yes. So much of our time is just spent in like dormant contemplation of like our calendar, right? Well, we're going to do this on this day. I have an appointment on this day. I'm going to go here. It's like, just go into the day whenever you have, and you don't have to be anywhere at a certain time. Go and just be, and just get into flow state and immerse yourself in whatever you're doing to the degree that you don't care about time. A lot of people, they really experience this when they're having a great conversation, when they're listening to beautiful music, when they're watching a fantastic movie, and when they're immersed in some creative endeavor. That is what's going to happen. And you're going to be really awakened to this and be like, these are these moments. I get this. I get what Kairos is all about. And it's so absorbing because the moments are meaningful and the moments are magic. So we can translate that into even mundane activities of turning them into a beautiful meditation, right? Dishes, just walking, all of that. Let's be awakened to this present moment awareness that there are miracles and magic and signs all around us, which brings us to the mountain. Love this. When this card shows up, this is grounded in the eternal, being steadfast, uplifting. The mountain stands eternally in our awareness. It calls us towards its peak. It stirs up stoic and regal feelings, reminding us of the long lines of spirits and sages and gods that made their humble thrones within these snowy peaks. Be aware, though, as the mountain can affect us in two ways. It can inspire and enliven us to rise to new heights and peak experiences, but it can also create isolation, competitiveness, and an inflated sense of self. So standing on its heights can activate the purist and the perfectionist in us. Think about people that, climb Everest. Most of them, they want to make a big deal of it. They want to let everybody know that they've done it. Yes, and it's an accomplishment, but you will very rarely have a conversation with somebody who's climbed Everest and that doesn't happen to come up, right? In classical achievement style, that sort of thing. This is about humbly wanting to reach it for the sake of discovery. no matter how high you ascend, remember that it's within the core of the mountain that the gems, the minerals, and the jewels reside. And if you think it's all about going up, you're following the fool's path and missing the miner's magic. And that was just a little excerpt from the book, and I thought it was really beautiful. And I also find that to be very true. Here we go. The corresponding card is the Knight of Pentacles. That, again, inside the magic, that's where the gems and the minerals and the jewels reside. And the Knight knows that. It's a quest. It's an inner quest. Like, I do want to grow. I do want to seek out. I do want to accomplish things, but the whole world doesn't need to know. I don't need to post every damn thing that I ever do or say that's wonderful on the internet and have people cheering for me and look for validation. I'm just going to go for it. That sort of beautiful energy right there. And notice the gems and all of the riches, yourself and what you make of them, which I love, which brings us to the Starborn, an elusive yet radiant aspect of the self. The Starborn archetype points to the cosmic spark of light that arrives with each being at birth. The moment the newborn crowns, whether surgically or naturally, the royal stars above are said to constellate in a unique shape that maps our path in the world. I love that. The idea of destiny is controversial, but the Starborn naturally feels a sense of destination and purpose, aiming itself towards a future that's beyond the mundane. So when this card comes up, travel back to your birth story for clues and insights. What did you desire when you were young? Practice seeing your life from a mythic point of view rather than a series of like logistics. Read the story of the three fates and envision yourself born under the stars with a unique destiny. I remember when I was really young that I knew my destiny had stuff to do with like healing. Like at first I wanted to be just a regular medical doctor. Then I wanted to be a vet. And what I realized was I'm not great at blood and guts, and I don't like to see anything in physical pain. And then I was like, you know what? I'm pretty interested in the mind. I'm pretty interested, in the science of the mind and the workings of the mind, and started studying. So I remember the books and texts were in my house because my mom and dad, and I just started reading all this stuff on psychology, and I found it fascinating. And I was like, that's what I pictured from a very young age, being able to solve some puzzles of the mind and realizing that emotions were contagious very young. And being the youngest, with a lot of older brothers, it was like one of those things where you could realize being silly and entertaining, you could kind of get to go along for the ride, and they would teach you baseball, and they would teach you all the fun sports and the things that they knew, and take you out on ATVs and fishing, because you also were in natural awe of their abilities and things like that. It's like I knew that I was somehow destined to be able to learn things about the mind and convey it in messages that were helpful. So really uncover your story. What is it that you feel? What is some of the things that you want to understand and have deeper knowledge in? This brings us to the Seven of Pentacles, a beautiful time for you to plant your seeds, and or the seeds you have already planted are going to start to bear fruit, and you're going to have this trusting, vibrant, aimed feeling of alignment and just be able to go for it. Here comes your seeds popping up. Ah, yes, that's what I wanted to do for myself. Ah, yes, this is what I wanted to work on. This is what I'm moving towards. And this is what brings the beauty and the magic and the, sublime into my life. And I am going to stay on that path, because you start to feel it more and more. And with all your other cards, feeling that awakening, feeling the precious metals and gems all around you, and you just sort of picking them up as you go. You're beautifully aligned, and you feel in sync with the universe and who you are. And time will feel like it's just escaping, because you're doing things you're meant to do. So my beauties, that is what you're meant to hear today. I hope you all have a great day. Don't forget to press like and subscribe if you're new as well.